Hi, in this video we're going to use the quadratic formula to solve the equation x squared plus 9x plus 14 equals 0. In other words, what value or values of x, if any, will make that equation true? Okay, well, let's begin like we almost always do with quadratic equations. Write out the problem and identify a, b, and c. So a will be 1. The number in front of x squared. B, coefficient of x is 9. And c, the constant coefficient, the number on its own, is 14. Now, the quadratic formula states that x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and that entire thing is over 2a. Okay? Now it's important, a couple of things are important, that the minus is in front of the b, and that the entire expression on top is written over 2a. Sometimes people just put the square root part over 2a, but the entire thing has to be over 2a. Okay, so let's do this problem start off by filling it in. X equals minus b is 9, plus or minus the square root of b squared, and I guess for accuracy and consistency we should put everything in parentheses. So that will be 9 squared minus 4 times 1 times 14. And that's all over 2 times 1. So x will be equal to minus 9 plus or minus the square root. 9 squared is 81. Now the way you do this, multiply the first two pieces. Negative 4 by 1 is negative 4 by the, and multiply your answer by the last piece. So negative 4 times 14. That's going to be negative 56. Okay, and that's all over 2 times 1 is 2. Now work out what's in the square root there. And you get x is equal to minus 9 plus or minus, okay, 6 from 11 is 5, 1 and 5 is 6, 6 from it is 2. So it's minus 9 plus or minus the square root of 25 over 2. Okay, we'll keep working this through, and everyone should realize the square root of 25 is 5, so it's minus 9 plus or minus 5 over 2. And what we have going on here, we can split this up into two problems. Okay, we can split this up into two problems. One of them, use the plus, minus 9 plus 5 over 2. And if we do that, that gives you negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. And we can also look at using negative 5. So it would be minus 9 minus 5. So we have minus 9 plus or minus 5. Go with minus 9 plus 5, and then separately minus 9 minus 5. All over 2, that's negative 14 over 2, which is negative 7. Okay, so your two answers, x is equal to negative 2, or x equals negative 7. Okay, and those answers are both correct. Either x equals negative 2 or x equals negative 7. If you put them into this equation, x squared plus 9x plus 14 will give you 0. Okay, you can check that out just by substituting in minus 2 first, seeing what your answer is. Substituting in minus 7 and seeing what your answer is. And in both cases, it should be equal to 0. Now, we could have done this problem using factoring. Get the factors of x squared plus 9x plus 14, or by graphing. But I don't want to do that here right now. This is your first example in using the quadratic formula, and I don't want to confuse you. But just so that you know, this is just one way of approaching these problems. Okay, so you're just going to need to take loads of practice, take your time, and work through them slowly.